restoring balance. I know some people don't understand the concept behind hunting and trapping and stuff like that for predators. It's not for substance, it's not for meat, it's for conservation. And that's what conservation is. You know what I mean? If you just let nature sort itself out, nature is about as cruel as it could possibly. Well, it's nor cruel nor kind. It just is what it is, right? So these animals will starve to death either way. So you might as well harvest a few selectively if you can. For example, a little tip I'll say, I know some people are trophy hunters. I'm not a trophy hunter, but if I saw a pack of wolves and there was one really big one and 4 medium-sized ones, I'll take the second largest down. Why? Because that big one is going to control the breeding. He's the one that calls the shots, right? And if you take away his competition, it takes down the breeding. So then it puts them in check. Plus, if there's less wolves, there's less competition, the wolves become healthier. Where if you kill the alpha all the time, which may happen from time to time, if you kill the alpha, then all the betas, all of them breed, and then you get a breeding boom. That's what they have. That's the problem they have with the coyotes down in the States, is that they started shooting them, but then they were shooting the alphas too. And I mean, you don't really know unless there's a bunch of them together, right? Which coyotes tend to, they might travel around in pairs, but you know, you might not be able to tell which one's the alpha unless you see a whole bunch of them out. Or wolves, you might see 4 of them out together or something like that, or one by its own. So it is what it is, but it's just something to consider. I'm not saying you have to strictly abide by that, because if you don't shoot any of them, a typical wolf is going to eat between 23 and 48 deer a year each. So think of, you kill one wolf, you save potentially 50 deer. You know what I mean? Like that's what you're up against. And people don't look at it like that. They just, oh my god, you're killing the predator, you're killing the predator. It's like, yeah, but the predator kills everything else. Now what if you didn't hunt wolves at all? Well, here's what a game warden told me. He says, if we were to close the deer season, even with the problems they have right now, for 1 year, about 10,000 people would be killed. Why? Because the amount of deer that would be running across the highway, you know, it'd be everybody be hitting deer left, right, and center, right? So you do need the wolves. You do need the coyotes. They're the best natural predator, right? And they're very good at what they do. But you also need balance. So that's why I do what I do. So, and yeah, there we go. So my rifle's dripping wet. Hopefully the barrel is dry down the center of the barrel, but I dread the fact I've never cleaned this barrel other than the first few preliminary shots out of it, because I've been load testing. Now the problem is I'm pretty much done my load testing, and I gotta look down the barrel. If it's wet, I gotta clean it, but that's all the fouling. So that means my load testing, I'll have to shoot another 200 rounds or so before I can load test again. Which is not a problem, but I don't get to shoot every day. So I mean, it's kind of funny. This is my second outing with this rifle. It's already getting put through its paces. So you can understand when I'm telling you why and how rifles and everything, just like your equipment, just gets so ruined so quickly. Let's see how that scope's looking. It's wet in there. It's wet in there. My cheek rest, believe it or not, it's not too bad. Like the cardboard's wet, but there's tape on there, and that's kind of weatherproof a bit. So I'm gonna unload this, and yeah, I'm gonna grab some of these buckets here, drag them home, clean them up, and have them maybe ready for tomorrow. Start dragging those back, drag some bait back, and maybe I'll get some wolves. I mean, this field here would be a good wolf field to watch, but I usually wait till there's a bit of snow here so I can see them right out running across. And you literally get from there to here's about 100 yards, 80, 100 yards. Well, no, it's more like 120 yards, 150 yards. What am I talking about here? Far from that far end to that farm is like 280 if you could see it. You can't see as far as you used to. Big trees in the way there. But the wolves usually come out of the swamp there. They cross in on us, and the guy's got a horse ranch right on the other side of that tree line. And I'm amazed that he hasn't lost a single horse. I mean, I've come back here in the evening, sometimes late, and have seen deer out in the middle here, and wolves down at the far end, and they just disappear back. back in the bush. In a real low light, you can see them running. It's a weird thing. It almost looks like a ghost going across the snow. It's something to see, and you don't hear a thing unless they yap or whatever. You don't hear a thing. You won't hear them coming at all. So predator hunting has its challenges, but it also kind of humbles you a bit when you understand that a 175-pound wolf could come at you with his posse, run you down, have you ripped apart in about 15 to 20 seconds, and completely dead because you're so fragile. Deer might take about 30 seconds to a minute and a half of them chewing on them, and they're going to get you guts first. That's the whole thing. One's going to take you down by the neck or whatever, just grab onto you by a leg, and then the rest are just going to go right at your guts and rip you right apart. And if that kind of gives you an uneasy way to die kind of thing, that's nature. That's what it does. So again, it is what it is. So hunting them, not too many people get killed every year, but a few people get killed every year. It's just the media doesn't report on it because they're, you know, again, that Hollywood kind of, you know, they have no sense of preservation of nature. They just, you know, don't kill it. They're predators, you know, whatever. They don't care about the prey ever, but they, you know, it's like, you don't understand, like, you have to balance the two of them. If you have too many wolves and not enough deer, the wolves die too. They starve to death. If you have too many deer and not enough wolves, you know, the deer get problems too. So anyway, I'm going to head it back because you can see it's starting to ice up a bit. It's pretty miserable today. It's half sleet, half rain, half snow. And then I think this is the end of the mild spell for this week, and then after we're going back into the cold again. And yeah, we'll be heading into December. It's the 27th of November at the making of this video. So yeah, there we go.